All right, we are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast, coming at you with some Lucha love, reviewing Lucha Underground Season 4, Episode 3 from last night. Flying solo tonight. Chris Phoenix will not be joining me. Hopefully, he'll be up for joining me on the next one. Very vital part to my show. Love it when he's here, contributing his great mind in the world of everything Lucha, like we do on here. So yeah, let's dive right into this. Man, what I at the risk of sounding like I'm repeating myself all the time, I'm going to say that this episode once again was really loaded. So much to talk about, and in 1 hour, this show doing so much more than what others can't even do in 5 hours of content. You know who I'm talking about. That I've decided to take a hiatus from, just because it's just not doing it for me anymore. You know, people get in the habit of watching stuff week after week after week after week, and it's, you know, you do it out of habit, but it's not exciting anymore. And for me, as someone who wants to be entertained and watch wrestling, the other stuff just isn't doing it for me. The stuff that I'm excited about is all the stuff that I'm reviewing now and more. Lucha Underground, Impact Wrestling. I'm going to start watching MLW. I watched a couple episodes. You know, I'm several behind. I think they're on episode like 10. I'm back on like number 2 or 3. So I'm trying to catch up when I think of it. Ring of Honor, everything that's going on with Cody Rhodes in Ring of Honor, New Japan, All In, the NWA, all these little things getting a buzz, and it's stuff that I'm excited about, and I'm going to be talking more and more about on here as All In gets closer. But before I get too far off track, what's up, Jerry? Jerry's in the chat tonight. Glad you could be here. Let's get into this episode. Like I said, loaded, storytelling at its finest. And they're picking up stories that they dropped, just little things, and a season or two ago. Like, you know, what was it? Like dropping the salt off the elbow, like, you know, something sexy like that. No. Kicking off the episode, Andre's in the chat. What's up, Andre? Kicking off this episode with the Worldwide Underground in a meeting with Johnny Mundo. So excited to see Johnny Mundo back with Taya and everything. Best produced wrestling show on the planet. Yes, you know, and that's the thing. It is a TV show with wrestling on it. It's not a brand. Trust me, I wish it was a brand. I wish it was. But hey, you know, we could see that someday as the buzz grows. We could see it tour more often with everyone who's on the show. I would love to see it do that someday. I'm glad you can join, Andre. The storytelling that I'm talking about, this story is, and I know I've mentioned it before, but now they're really starting to get the ball rolling on this. Ricky Mundo walks in Dario Cueto's office, and like I said, don't ask me what episode it was. It was from a while back. Styles is in the chat too. Oh my goodness, we got a crowd tonight. So glad you could all join me. Dario's looking at pictures from Doll. We'll just call it Doll Island. And if it is a real thing, folks, like I said, it is an actual island that is haunted. There's all these creepy looking dolls like you saw in the episode all over, spread all over this island. Google it. You talk about like, talk about like horror stories that are ghost stories that are out there, and so many of them are just bogus. They're entertaining, but they're fake. If you look up the information, the videos that people have done on this, the documentaries, all these little things, they are creepy as hell. They are legit scary. This doll in this episode is legit scary. So Mundo calls this meeting. He's like, we got to do something about these, the lizard, the snake? No. I always screw it up. What the hell is it? The reptile tribe? The lizard tribe? The snake tribe? I always forget. Anyways, those, what does he say? The slimy turd cutters? The slimy curd. No, I'm going to screw that up. The slimy turd cutter tribe. Say that 10 times really fast. Bet you can't. Give you a beer if you can. No, see, you couldn't, could you? So they're all talking about this, and Mundo says to Jack that it's his turn to he's got a match tonight. Call one of them out. Let's start getting the ball rolling on this. Get revenge on the lizard tribe. And that's probably wrong. Whatever. I'm just gonna keep it moving. And while Ricky Mundo is holding this doll and it's responding, and it's like, hola. And then it said something else to Johnny Mundo as when he was starting his meeting. And so he's like, all right, you all have your marching orders. Everyone starts taking off. And he's sitting there. He's like, and he's not pulling the string anymore. The doll just starts talking to Ricky Mundo. It's like, don't worry, your secret's safe with me, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing here. And it's just creepy as hell. And all of a sudden, it pans back, and this literally made me jump as I was watching this, because as you pan back, the look on Ricky Mundo's face is probably the scariest thing that I've seen in any horror movie in the last 5 years. He looks possessed. He looks evil. I legit jumped when the end of the promo hit and the screen started flashing. I jumped, and I was like, oh my God. And I couldn't wait to talk to you guys about this and tell you how it made me feel, because to me, this is not too much terrifies me anymore. I've seen all the Freddys. I've seen all the Jasons. I've skipped a couple different horror trilogies that have come out that is just, it just doesn't catch me like, ooh, I want to go see that. Nowadays, you just don't see stuff like that. This looks legit terrifying. And if you've seen the trailer, the little splices of where all of a sudden Ricky Mundo is like, he's smiling like this, and his face is completely covered in blood. It's like, oh my God, if I'm eating a big old bowl of popcorn, I swear to God, one of these episodes is going to go flying. So they are finally getting the ball rolling on this. Well, I'm not even going to try to read everything in the chat. You guys are going nuts tonight. That's awesome. So glad you guys are here. Thank you for your support. So, okay, Jack's going to the ring then he throws out an open challenge. So he's assuming, and this was an online exclusive. It actually wasn't part of the episode. So if you didn't see it, go to, I think it's either, I know it's on like the Twitter. They threw a video on there, and I think it's also possibly on the YouTube channel. Don't quote me on that, but it's out there. It's an online exclusive separate from the episode on TV. So he does some calling out, and it's so it's funny though, because Jack is such a character, and through most of last season his jaw was wired shut, and he was there, he was present, and he did the, he had the what the hell you call it, the dry erase board, very entertaining stuff, and he would write stuff and they would zoom in on it, and it was funny and it was comical. But no one cuts a sarcastic ass promo like Jack Evans. He is priceless. I mean, his guttural swag is just, oh my God, it's something that sticks with you like, I don't know, something on a hot summer day. I don't know. So he does what's it called? A shut up, put up or shut up thing. Oh, before I get into this match and talk about who he's going to be facing, this is the second time this season Angelico was mentioned in the season, and from what I've heard, he's not part of it. He announced months ago that he's not part of Lucha Underground anymore. So he's Ricky Mundo, Johnny Mundo, I'm getting all my Mundos confused. Johnny Mundo, he's like, I owe him an ass beating. So it's very interesting how they keep mentioning Angelico. He was supposed to be part of the Aztec warfare. The door opened, the door shut, and he didn't show. So why do they keep mentioning him and he's not a part of the season anymore? I'm very curious, and I haven't heard any like secret rumblings or anything. He's over in Europe kicking ass from what I've heard. I've seen a couple matches that they post like online or whatever, but he's floating all over Europe doing the independent scene over there, killing it. In fact, and this is sidetracking, so just bear with me. I watched the United Kingdom thing on the WWE network, whatever it was, a few days ago. Very entertaining stuff. So many of those guys that I became a fan of overnight when seeing them on Lucha Forever on Flow Slam. Bear with me, there is a point to this. And Angelico was one of those guys who was on those things for Lucha Forever. He wasn't on everyone. There was a couple regulars, and then there was a bunch of different ones that showed up here and there. But like Travis Banks, oh God, Sammy Callahan was a part of it. Swerve, Strickland was in the first one, going for Lucha Underground Championship. All these different ones that were Ginny, female wrestler, Tony Storm, all these different ones that were in the UK tournament that made me think of the Lucha Forever on Flow Slam, and then Angelico was also part of that. So it's like, oh man, if I could go back and watch those. Obviously Flow Slam isn't around anymore, it's a shame, but I was really enjoying Lucha Forever while it was around. So what are you going to do? But nonetheless, like I said, Angelico's over in Europe killing it. It's going to be very interesting if they keep mentioning him or if they actually drop in a surprise appearance that was filmed separate. We'll have to wait and see. So Jack does the call out, and he's like, whatever, he's all cocky. The put up or shut up challenge. Exolicious makes his debut, almost at her. I'm going to catch some heat for that. Because, yeah, I think this is someone completely new to me. I heard about this guy. He was on the Mats, Masks, and Mayhem podcast a few weeks ago, just as the season was starting. and they interviewed him. He's a wrestler on the East Coast from Jersey, like they said and they announced him. And as far as gimmicks wise, he's not like all the classic flamboyant folks from the past that were, they played the part. No, this guy is legit. So it was very interesting to see someone who is actually openly gay and not just playing a part. So, and I'm not judging that here nor there. It was just very interesting seeing that character and seeing it finally on TV after I've heard so much about this guy. Killed it. When I was first watching it last night, I was distracted doing some other stuff. Rewatched the episode a couple times today. Was very impressed. Sonny did a great job with Jack Evans. Props to him. I can't wait to see what else we're going to see from him this season. As far as seeing someone like him in the realm of like Pimpinella. Like Pimpinella it's something you don't see every day in the realm of wrestling on TV. So Pimpinella, as far as I know, is not part of the season. So we have Sonny. So, but like I said, the gimmick is not a gimmick. It's real, folks. So very, very entertaining. Great wrestler and great match. Actually beat Jack Evans. That was shocking. I did not expect to see that with, Jack Evans finally getting back in the ring after his injury from last year before. So, yeah, that was surprising. I thought this was just going to be someone coming in and Jack kills him and, the rule of the Worldwide Underground continues on in the temple. But this is a whole new temple and a whole new batch of people coming in. So we get some old faces. We get some new faces like we saw. So congrats to Exolicious. Will be very interesting to see what else he does in this season of Lucha Underground. Next, we get the champ, Pentagon, Dark. I'll throw that Dark in there. Wherever he shows up, and he's on so many shows now. Oh my goodness. Lucha Underground, Impact Wrestling, MLW. There's rumors that he's going to show up soon on either CMLL or AAA for Triple Mania. I don't think anything official has been announced yet. Excuse me. But he's everywhere. He's all over the independents, all over the country. He's just killing it. He's just killing it. It's so awesome. So he shows up, cuts a promo, and basically says, I'm not going to say it in Spanish. My Spanish is horrible. So I'm paraphrasing. So bear with me, okay? He's like, I went through this match and I went through this match. So whoever, Papa Cueto throws at me next, no problem. I'm going to kill him. And, putting himself over. He's confident. He's cocky, which is fine. It's okay to be cocky as long as, like Kid Rock says, you back it up. And he does. But someone pops up from behind and gets him. Is good old machine Brian Cage, or just the man they call Cage. And he's like, well, you're not going to beat me, whatever he says. Knocks him out, puts him through a table. This table just explodes. Man, it's, that's one of those things that you don't see nowadays. Well, a little more in a temple than anywhere else, but a good table spot. That was perfect. Table just everywhere. So he grabs the championship and does his, pose, and he's holding it up high and then throws it down at the champ as he's just laying there. So, um, so Cage getting probably get a match soon with the champ. I'd have to imagine. Going to be very interesting to see how Cage is all tied in with the hunt. I'll say the hunt for the gauntlet, because there's a lot of different forces coming together, either trying to claim it and or get rid of it. So that's going to be an ongoing story. Can't wait to see how Cage, oh my goodness, fits in there. Sorry. Living in a world wearing glasses. All right. What is next? Oh, then we have a very touching scene. A very touching scene with two lovers, Phoenix and Melissa Santos. Is touching, is the music, and they're touching each other, and they embrace and they kiss, and I can't imagine what was going through the mind of the Machine Cage as he's watching his woman on this show embracing another man and kissing him. I'd have to think that somewhere down the road, Cage is going to put Phoenix through a table. Yeah. And then have some words with his soon-to-be wife. Are they married? I don't know. She just had his kid. I don't know what their relationship status is, but I know they're together and I know they're happy, and they just, you know what? They also just started a YouTube channel. Go check it out. I know that they both promote it on their social media, so it's easy to find. I just subbed. I have not checked out their stuff yet, but I think it revolves around her having her first child with Brian, I think. Something like that. So, certainly better than anything the Bellas are putting out, in my professional opinion. Yeah. So, gotta love Cage. Gotta love Cage. Huge supporter of his. So yeah, Phoenix and Melissa talking about the upcoming 3-way to the grave match, grave consequences. She's so worried about him. And he's like, I've done this before. Don't worry, babe. And she's like, yeah, but there's 3 of you now, not just one other guy, you know. And he's like, I got this. Mwah, got this, you know. And they show the kiss a couple times on repeat. And, oh, it's getting hot in here. Getting hot in that locker room. Oof. Bet that doll was spying on him. Creepy little shit. That'll be the next episode. Doll starts peeking around the corner, spying on people making out in the locker room. Putting money on that one. Hell yeah. So, we got the 3-way to the grave match, grave consequences, Mil Muertes with Katrina and the Stone versus Jeremiah Crane, lovesick bastard, and Phoenix. Note I wrote down next to Mil Muertes, red eyes, exclamation point. Yeah, red freaking eyes. Oh my God. Eyes are just glowing. This match, just crazy. It's action up the stairs, tumbling down the stairs, Phoenix jumping off of everything. Do you remember those reports that came out as the season started taping back in, what was it, February? Reports started coming out that there weren't going to be enough things for the roster of Lucha Underground to jump off of. Do you remember that? I remember that very clearly. I don't know who said it. I'm not going to go back and look. But if I did, it'd be damn embarrassing. Because obviously the people that wrote that stuff are now watching the show and going, oh, snap. I was wrong. So wrong. Phoenix, I don't know how many times Phoenix jumped off of something, climbing up the ladder, jumping off of stuff onto like there was like the platform where the office is or wherever they were, jumping off of that. They almost like went over the balcony. Like I said, up the stairs, down the stairs. Phoenix shoving people out of the way, walking along the railing, diving on top of Mil Muertes. He was everywhere. And this is something else that I've heard on like other podcasts like Masks and Mayhem, where those guys are at the tapings talking about the crowd was really different this time. Not a lot of the regulars were there. And so many new people, and they didn't know how to react when the action got close to them. So, you know, there's all these people like frantically like, oh God, what's going on? The people that were standing there and Phoenix is walking past them. He's like shoving them out of the way. It's like when you're in the temple, folks, I'm like, okay, I'm not at the tapings, but I know this from watching how many episodes and seasons. When the action gets close to you, you need to pay attention. You need to wake up and you need to get the hell out of the way. You need to scramble. Grab your buddy if he's not paying attention. Get the drink out of his hand. Finish the drink for him. That's what I would do. Get him the hell out of the way. Save a life. Love Lucha, save a life. Put that on a t-shirt. Love Lucha, save a life. That makes no goddamn sense. Anyways, so he should really stop drinking when he's doing these reviews. He's making no sense. He's acting silly. That's what I do. So wait till Impact later. Oh my God. No, I'm kidding. Well, yes, the review for Impact is coming later. So yes, can't wait for that. That's, oh my goodness, the show's starting in a half an hour. Awesome. The match was sick. Like I said, they went up the stairs, down the stairs. I'm not going to talk about every single move, but man, people getting pummeled into the coffins, through tables. Mil Muertes even jumping off the top turnbuckle to the outside of the ring. He's a big guy. He's like, Phoenix jumps like everywhere and anywhere. It's not something you expect from Mil Muertes just because he is a bigger guy, and he does it gracefully. It's just incredible. Agent's in the chat. What's up, Agent? If this was CZW, someone would have been hit with a chair. Well, I know there was a chair shot or at least one or two in there. They used all sorts of stuff. Tables. I know there was a clang of a chair somewhere in the episode. I don't remember who did what, but I know there was one. I have to go back and watch. So the first one that's eliminated, talk about eliminations now because there's 3 of them, was, Crane. And he wasn't eliminated by Phoenix. He wasn't even eliminated by Mil Muertes or Katrina or Melissa Santos. He was eliminated by his ex-girlfriend who just showed up. And what time was it? It was Hammer time. That's right. Where was Vanilla Ice, man? Cue the Vanilla Ice, Oh no, wait, that's MC Hammer. I'm sorry, I'm old. I know they toured together at least, so I was close. So you gotta give me at least that. That was way back in the high school days. Uh-oh. Here comes a hammer, and then Ivelisse knocks out Crane, puts him in his own casket, and closes it on him. Unbelievable. And then, commentary, they're talking about there's nothing like a woman. What's that saying? There's nothing like a woman scorned. something to that effect. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. Hell yeah. So that's number one. And then Mil Muertes goes back and forth with Phoenix. Melissa Santos even almost getting in the way. Like she's checking on Phoenix, and here comes Mil Muertes around the corner, and she's like, "Oh shit," you know. And Katrina's like, "Hell yeah, bitch, you better. I got the rock. You got a microphone. You ain't got shit." So yeah, Melissa Santos almost gets hammered herself in this. Just a tremendous match, and I'm glad they gave this match. That's one thing that I had constructive criticism about in episodes before, like not giving enough not giving a match enough time on TV, because they cram in a lot of stuff, but they did. They had the first match with Jack and Exodus. They had the promo with Pentagon, obviously setting up something with Brian Cage, short and sweet, boom, huge impact on the table, Cage making his point. And then saved 3/4 of the episode time for this match. Awesome. Ends in Phoenix getting put in his own coffin and Melissa Santos barely being able to choke out that Mil Muertes won the match. Here's the big question, folks, before I get into what happened after this, which is just also ridiculous. I loved it. Here's the big question, folks. Everyone's like, okay, Crane's dead, and now Phoenix is dead. Is this the last that we're going to see of them on the show? That's the huge question. My first guess, as a Lucha Underground fan, and knowing all the little supernatural things, floating around in the air and people coming back, and because Mil Muertes was killed in a Grave Consequences match, he was taken off by the Day of the Dead people. By the way, that was awesome that they actually had time to put that on TV where the people come out and take them away. Perfect. It's awesome. Great part of the storytelling. It's not just a casket match where boom, gets put in the casket, hit the credits. No, the people came out and took the caskets away one by one. Awesome. I always felt that was a great part of the production and showing something, what's the word I'm looking for? Authentic for Lucha Libre fans, especially south of the border. The Day of the Dead thing, if you don't know what it is and you're a little confused by all the people coming out, go look it up. It's a tradition. It's a holiday of theirs. And it's like the biggest thing next to Christmas. It's something that's very important to Mexican people. It's something that I've always been mildly fascinated with as well. Whenever I see stuff in the store, and it's, you see the makeup on a skeleton and stuff like that. Like the people had the makeup on their faces. Whenever you see stuff like that, that's always Day of the Dead related. So yeah, Crane was first. Phoenix was second to be eliminated. Mil Muertes is the winner. But now what does he win? I don't think he wins much more than, his pride. Katrina, though. Katrina is going to get a lot more out of this. Like she said to Papa Cueto, she wants her life force back. She's stuck, zipping in and out of rooms and whatever. She wants her life force back. And I'm imagining that this is also going to give her more power. There's all these little things going on in the world of Lucha Underground where stories are unfolding, powers are like growing, people are getting powers or claiming powers. And that's the best part of it. I mean, the matches are great. I love the guys in the ring. I love the characters. I love the promos. But it's also all the stuff in the background. And don't worry, I'm getting to it. That end of the episode, holy shit. It's all these things together that make this show so special. Can I get an amen? Someone in the chat, give me an amen. Come on. Someone in the chat, give me an amen. I'll wait. No, I'll continue. So that match ends, and we see Phoenix get taken off or taken away. And one thing before I get to the end of the episode, always very interesting to hear Vampiro and Matt Striker go back and forth, and how Matt Striker always, like, I'm a man of faith, and I'm not going to sit here and preach to y'all. I'm going to tell you that I'm a man of faith. It is very interesting that Matt Striker puts so many biblical related things pertaining to faith and or God above in the show. And I find that very, very, I'll say interesting. I'm not going to knock it. I'm not going to praise it. I mean, I can relate to it because I am a man of faith. So I think it's very brave of him to put that out there. And it's also very brave for the producers of the show to allow him to do that. So props to Matt Striker for doing that. I think that's really cool. And everybody involved allowing him to, because I think that does add, like, it is a very spiritual show. You know, not preaching religion, just it's a very spiritual related show with the powers and everything involved. You know, so very cool. Now, the last scene of the episode that has had a story going since the first season, and now all of a sudden, boom, explodes in your face. I'm not going to paraphrase the entire thing, but basically Antonio Cueto talking about how this key that Dario has held close to his heart for so many years, he's now giving it to him, to Matanza, for him to set his soul free, and basically like completes the person. And it's also like in the realm of how Katrina is going to be complete as a person because of the life force and everything going on with the Grave Consequences match with the death of Phoenix. So Antonio Cueto, call him Papa, Papa tosses him the key that Dario carried around for 3 seasons and was like almost like an omen, like kind of like the stone is like a guiding force to Mil Muertes, you know, Katrina. And now all of a sudden Antonio tosses it to him and he's like, here's the key. Become complete. I really don't know how to say it. And I'm going to have to like watch it back a couple times because everything that Cueto said in that was like, when I first heard it, I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Confused the heck out of me. So tosses him the key. Matanza takes the key and he's holding it and he breaks it, and the chains just shatter right off of him. And Cueto says goodbye he's like, goodbye, my boy. As in, he's not his little boy anymore. He is truly a god now, a monster like god. So, like I said, there's all these little power issue, god issue things unraveling, coming to the surface now in this season. You got the Island of the Dolls curse thing, possession, however you want to phrase it. You got that storyline. You got Katrina getting her life force back because of this match that we were just talking about. You got Matanza now becoming a full-fledged god because he broke the key. Crazy. So there's all these little things coming to the surface. It's just all these background stories making this whole show so good that we've, some of them we've had like a trickle effect over the course of 3 seasons, and boom, now oh my God, now we're getting all this stuff. And that's not even half of it. With like, half of the other, new and or interesting characters that we're just getting to witness. Some old ones coming back. It's a hell of a show, folks. And I'm so happy as a wrestling fan to review it, talk about it. I wish Phoenix was here so I could talk about it with him, because we'd probably be going twice as long, but it is what it is. So, yeah, that's it. I don't think I got anything else on my notes that I was going to talk about. Nope, that's it, folks. Thank you so much, everyone who tuned in live. Excuse me. And if you didn't catch everything that I was talking about, my whole review, this will be up on WrestlingWithWrestling.com soon thereafter, and just in time for you to catch Impact Wrestling. And I'll be reviewing that after the show tonight. Thanks much. So it's, and I just want to say how great it is again to be a part of 2 different families, WrestlingWithWrestling.com and RantWithAnt.com. Go to the link, you know what, it's not, the link isn't in this description, but RantWithAnt.com. You can go to get the t-shirts on there. The Smash This Podcast t-shirts are up there. Thank you for your support. If you buy one, let me know. I'll share the hell out of it. I need to get, when are you going to get me a t-shirt? I bet, I'm waiting. I'm also waiting on that Ricochet t-shirt. That was back in April. Those guys. Don't even get me started on those guys.